So I found a place for my job interview. It was like this old new castle on a hill. I mean, it was meant to be old, but it only just been built. I met this mad receptionist called Fluffy or something. She stole my phone. Then the boss man, Oswald Mandias, talked a load of gibberish about how the past was better and how I'd make a worthy servant. Then there was a semi-naked girl doing yoga called, can I pronounce that? Or something weird. Her sister had vanished, but she didn't seem to care much. Then I found they'd been doing like crazy drug experiments on the people who did my job, even the sister for rebelling. I found the sister. She also had a strange name, but she was this vicious zombie thing from the drugs. I think when she tore the guard to pieces. And then there were dire wolves. Did I mention there were dire wolves? The only sounds are the footsteps on the pavement as your friends contemplate your story in silence. So begins Claire. Also, begins Claire. Do you get the job or not? This is going to be like that time you got sacked from the library but still went in every day rearranging the shelves and shush people, asked Dave. No, you say, but the boss man is the pub landlord too. When he spots that I've left my post and I don't know what he's gonna do. Well, let's find out, shall we? Says Dave cheerfully. Clayton Tavern has a trophy with our name on it. After you. Welcome to the Bunny Hill Horror, Bunny Boiler. This is a graphic novel adventure in which you progress by clicking the options beneath the scene text. When you collect an item, an icon will appear which will you click on to examine or use. The icon will flash when it can be used. Sound and general options are in the top right hand, and well, that about does it. Okay. You approach the Clayton Cavern, whose orange lights look appealing through the cold drizzle of the evening. The sight of a rough and serious-looking man in the doorway is enough for your friend to slow down, leaving you in front to take charge. To your left is a nearly empty car park serving several shops, but this area of the suburbs holds no other attractions. Talk to the man. You look familiar. You say, recalling the guard on Bunny Hill who got torn open like a child's birthday present wrapping. You're thinking of my brother, the guard says. How is Big Bad Bob these days? He's fine, you say, a little too quickly. Look for the capsule, let me in. I know you do, said the guard. My brother Bob told me. He says you're the sort of lazy, skiving arsehole that they find at the bottom of the barrel for job applicants. You're only here because you're expendable. If you think that means you can bother important people while they enjoy a drink, you could think again, pal. Look at the car park. You walk into the small group of shops, which includes a dry cleaners, a pharmacy, and a pile of rags, which seem to have been dumped outside. Claire taps your shoulder and points to the hedgerow, which clearly cuts off the car park from the road. Go to the hedgerow. You go over to the hedgerow and see what's aroused Claire's curiosity. What on earth? She says. Why would you plant bushes full of holly and thorns to cut off the shop from everywhere? The earth's fresh. This is new. To keep undesirables out? To just Dave. I don't know, customers? Earth you could squeeze through somewhere. I try to squeeze through. You accept Dave's challenge and find a spot where the growth isn't too thick. I squeeze through the 6-foot-tall shredder with only moderate cuts and sharp pain jolts you back onto the concrete. Electrofit's hitting the side, says Dave. That's clever. You get up off the floor and got that Dave will suffer from this. Alright, up to the hedgerows then. You walk up to the shops to hear Claire gasp and raise a warning arm in front of you. The pile of rags rearranges itself and grows to you to notice a woman's head looking at you in an unfocused way. She looks neither disheveled enough to be a tramp, not as a dirty, sour smell of a drunk, but something's not right. Change comes over her, mouth forms a snarl. She crouches as if ready to spring, and her eyes lock onto yours. Run away. Decision to turn out, not to matter in the slightest, as two Scatho explosives come closer, deafening you. Big man Rob strides towards you, holding a revolver. Sorry about that, he chuckles. Must have been a bit of a shock. Snarl makes you realize that this isn't over yet, but a third shot finishes off the woman. These tramps are a real problem, he said, examining the body. 1 minute they're after loose change, the next thing they're going for your throat. He laughs uproariously and then hands you something. Looks like you can do the quiz after all. Just take this cow's invite. Shame to let it go to waste. Phone for help? We need to phone the police and get an ambulance, you say. But they took my phone at the castle. Phone you phone him? Clear as the quickest to react, you hear the recorded message on the speakerphone. Nick her down at 999. Thanks to the new exciting partnership with America Co. and Healthcare and Security, we're transferring you over to your nearest dedicated health hub. The call switches to a dial tone and you hear Big Mad Rob's phone ring. He swears and switches it off, disconnecting you. Okay. Enter pub? Because what in the world? Pub hasn't yet filled up and there's plenty of space for Dave and Claire to gratefully crash onto a comfy sofa. Whose round is it? Asks Dave. Yours, Claire replies. Can anyone else get it? Says Dave, looking towards the bar. Why? Claire follows his gaze to a young barmaid wearing a flimsy corset. Oh, it's because you're shy. Well, I might have to go myself later. Well, Dave said someone else did it, so obviously he probably doesn't have any money, so he goes to the bar. You walk up to Mandias. Hey, Elf, you say. Hey, you. She smiles sweetly. I thought you'd be here to see him perform as a barmaid. Hope Rob didn't give you too much hassle. He's a scamp, isn't he? Probably upset that his brother is dead. Can't wait to see his little face when he finds out my sister ate him. So, she leans towards you. What will it be, sugar? Despite the pub's traditional taste, the selection of drinks errs towards the generic, since a homeliness is attempted with a liquor basket of condiments. Can't help it. Help you? I know all the questions will be about old stuff. Wizard making guys look like kings so they can get a bit naughty with the queen. Guys yanking swords from stones. Sorry. What were you talking about it? Oh yeah, help. Well, you need to look the part. That commoner suit's all wrong. That gives me an idea. The elf winks as she turns away. Whatever idea, she's keeping it to herself. Examine the comments? You examine the comments and notice that America Co. have branched out into food seasoning as well. Pepper Pot bears the slogan, pick a pot of your proper pepper, while the salt shaker announces, we take pride in our sodium chloride. If you don't feel either item will be useful. Games room? It's about the castle caretaker, Lynn, by himself in the games room, listlessly rolling some pool balls across the table. None enter the pockets. Alright, he agrees as he sees you. His mood doesn't seem to perk up. How's it going? Lynn shrugs and exhales heavily. Not well, friend. Not well. I reckon Ozzy wants rid of me. It is just waiting until I outlive my usefulness. Well done on escaping the castle, though. I noticed our pet dire wolves were a bit more unconscious than usual this afternoon. Ethan blames me for that, too. Good. Not that simple. Lynn's expression becomes grim. Ozzy needs soldiers. Since the only guns he has are museum pieces that jam half the time, this means pumping people full of drugs until they're vicious, mindless killers. He did that with his own daughter, Faye. And he just done that with a spy they caught. This not explaining the gunshots I heard. He'll do that with you. I guess? No nods. If you don't play your cards right. Can you help us with the quiz? Yeah, sure. The thing about the quiz is that all the questions and answers are made up, but I've seen enough to know how it all works. And then pauses, looks away and scratches his neck. Yes? You prompt? Really sorry about this, but can I ask a favor? The zombie drug, Fendrick, they manufacture something they call Medugal in the pharmacy. I'm on their blacklist now, but could you get some? It's just, I'm under a lot of stress right now. Why not go? Okay. Look around. Clinton Tavern's games room, which consists of a pool table and dartboard. A gap in the wall opens to the bar, but no staff are visible. There's an emergency fire exit with a sound reading, no longer operational for security reasons. When no one around to stop you, you help yourself to a few darts, reasoning that any sharp items may well be useful. Okay, staff room? You find yourself alone in the messy staff room with documents and litter, even blankets lying everywhere. So the blanket which lifts slightly to reveal the eyes of Oswald Mandias. Oh, it's you. I believe your orders were to stay in the castle. I'll never let you out, I suppose. It's the last straw for him as far as I'm concerned. You decided to keep quiet rather than explain how you actually escaped. Since I'm new here, what can I do? Oswald had recovered from the initial surprise and stared at you from the slits of the blanket opening for a few seconds, as if laying down a challenge. For a starter, you will not speak to me in that casual manner. You will say no more about your disobedience of late, but you have a long way to prove yourself a worthy American subject. A bare arm emerges with which Ozzy reaches over to the bedside table, dips a pen into an inkwell and hands you the resulting note. First of all, I require you to fetch my attire from the dry cleaners. Show this to Robert at the door, but remember, as a servant on duty, you're going no further than the shops. The only pub as well as America Code. There's a comment, Oswald smiles and his voice softens. Of course, in the days of yore, the tavern was the cultural center of the village, where tales of courage were regarded and heroes eulogized through song. Not like the wretched shout at the television football match and vomit fizzy late Jaeger into the urinals culture of today. America Code is based around its people, and the tavern is its beating heart. Okay. I'm gonna leave the club now. Sorry, you say the big mad Rob as you try to squeeze past him and leave. I'm just popping out. No need to be sorry, pal, he says, because you're not going anywhere. You don't let me in, and then you don't let me leave? Doesn't make sense. We reloaded my revolver. I don't need to make sense. Just besides, bad manners to accept the invitation and then run off. And Mr. Mandias really hates bad manners. He's asked a friend in the car park. You enter the staff room to be rewarded with a stern look from Oswald Mandias, who's pulled the bedsheets further up. Well, he demands, so they hope you've been able to carry out your simple instructions. My bad. Bar. Trash, you can't help. Alright, I'll go. You volunteer. Besides, I know her. She's called... or L. But I need some money. They reluctantly checks his wallet and hands you a banknote, which you examine with some disbelief. This is 50 rubles. Don't worry here, class. Never check these things. It just needs to feel right. Okay. Come on, you really can't help? Examine jukebox. The jukebox appears out of a place in the tavern that wants to shun all modern trappings, leaving notes of tracks. Whatever song you select is very unlikely to have been a UK number, one last 5 centuries or so. That one. You hand over the money as she looks at you in confusion. £50? She asks. It's a lot. Does the strange writing mean it's more valuable like runes? Don't look at me like that. Dad doesn't let me out of the castle often. Says mixing with the serfs isn't what a lady does. I expect you'll let me keep the change. Most of our patrons tip me very generously. She pours you 3 drinks, spilling most of them into the drip tray. Alright, other friends. Finally, they've taken his pint of stout. Are we all set? Is she okay? Asks Claire, who sips her neon cocktail, slowly nods in Elf's direction. Kind of, you say. She helped me escape the castle, but she also knew her sister was in the cells. Cells, you say? What kind of hellish place did you drag us to? You started pointing to Dave. That you didn't drag it would be a waste of breath. Okay. I don't know. Rob checks the note and checks it again, all the while keeping one very suspicious eye on you. Alright then, he says. But I'll be watching closely. If thinking about running off, think about whether you can outrun a bullet first. Bruh. You were in the cold, wet park, but feeling a sense of serenity. Little traffic is passing through the road beyond the bordering hedge. The lights are on in nearby houses. A flickering of curtains tells you that Rob is the only one taking an interest in you. The only other lights belong to the Clayton Tavern, the pharmacy, and the first floor window above the dry cleaners. I'm gonna go to the pharmacy first. Okay. It's you. The words are hissed rather than spoken by your favorite receptionist, Daisy Fluffington. She sits behind the table consisting of syringes, vividly colored vials, and a tub of lollipops. I bet Lynn let you out, didn't he? You notice posters on the wall and a brand new book in the waste paper bin. A doorway is marked dispensary. What are you doing? What am I doing? Who are you to ask? Daisy spends a few seconds to compose herself, and the smile doesn't quite reach her eyes, appears. I'm helping people. But I've heard reports of trouble folk using the new drugs becoming aggressive or catonic. These can be ingested by accident from touching contaminated surfaces or breathing the dust from the taps. I'm offering employees shots of Tyria, which gives resistance against these events. Would you like one? You've been such a great help. It's what you deserve. And it comes with a lolly. Daisy smiles. Can no longer be any wider without some kind of surgery. Sure. Now, waiting an instant, Daisy moves around the desk, ties the plastic band tightly around your arm, and gouges a vein with her syringe. And because Daisy's the parking lot, you're angry about this, very angry, but it's okay. The onslaught of adrenaline, you know you can take on the world, starting with the meat you can see outside the pub. You charge snarling towards the figure, but 2 gunshots fail you. They're just pinprick though, and you get back up. 3rd blow is fired and you die. Not a nice way to go, was it? It's also with a bit of a silly decision. If you don't mind me saying, we'll have another go, and see if you can keep your wits about you better this time. So I died. Exit the menu. Alright. That's funny. Okay, well, this is the Bunny Hill Horror Bunny Boiler. Written by Dominic O'Reilly and coded by Michael Maiden. Krunchy Games. I will put everything in the description in regard to this game if y'all want to play for yourselves. I was asked to play this game. It's not something that's like new entirely. It came out like last October. But honestly, I'll probably play this in my free time just to, you know, not make dumb decisions and die. I thought it was a good decision. I thought we knew the girl and that it was trustworthy, but obviously I made a poor decision. But if you enjoyed this video, of course, like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever it is that you want to do. And if you want to play this game for yourself, I will put all of it in the description below. And yeah, the Bunny Hill Horror Bunny Boiler. I made a poor decision and I paid for it. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed and I'll see y'all in the next one.